All right, well, thank you so much for being part of what is becoming something very interesting. I hope also very well accepted, but the Bring a Voice podcast. We are here with Jen. Introduce herself and give us a little spiel about who you are, what you do, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much for having me because I mean, you can interview anybody else, but you've decided to choose me. So thank you so much. And
Uh,
honestly, thank you so much for what you do. I know you have a big heart and you put a lot of time and effort into creating a community to give back. And it takes a special type of person to do that. So I want to say thank you for that.
oh, that's
So my
great.
name is Jenna Lee. I am the CEO of Billboards Inc. We are a full service marketing agency and we do billboards nationwide. We do everything from static boards, digital boards. We do billboards for a purpose. And that's how we came in contact because we did billboards for Bring a Voice. So I'm just very grateful to be here.
That's very sweet of you to say. And your voice matters just as much as everyone else's. And I think people, that's what we're doing the podcast for, is to, it's not just about the patients, it's not just about the caregivers, it's about the loved ones who take care of them, the behind the scenes folks, and the patients and the kids. It's everyone. Because cancer has a way to just get inside a family and just change a family. So we know, and we're going to share, you've gone through experience of dealing with cancer, loss of cancer from cancer, and watching friends go through cancer currently. And you know, if we can say, and you could touch a little bit on it or not, but we know that your father passed from cancer, your grandmother, your grandfather, and your uncle, and then also you have a friend, a dear friend, what we know, going through cancer currently. So,
Yeah.
how has that all shaped you and made you now who you are with looking back at that? Because some of it's recent, some of it's a little while ago, right?
Right. I think that as cancer comes into your families, it's really gives you perspective on time. It gives you perspective on life. Gives you perspective on just like actually sharing these moments with people that are important to you, which I feel like we should already have in life, but we don't because everything's moving so fast as we're going through everyday life. But just like it's almost like letting you know life is really fleeting and to hone in on those simple moments that you have with people, perspective on life. I think that's what it really does.
Yeah. It's weird because I don't think we all walk around in bubbles until like something happens, and then we act like it's a shock. And I think
Right.
our and it happens more now than I think in the olden days when I was a kid. But because people don't talk about these real life situations until they happen to people, so it's hard for people to just have that shock and loss, or shock and now that big question mark of what do we do next? How do we get through this? How long does it take? What are the percentages? And those are just, questions that usually have some guidelines, but there's no reality behind them. There's no real concrete dates to anything. So
Yeah, a
it's
lot of people think they're so untouchable too. I mean, everybody thinks they're like, "Oh, this can't happen to me," or "Oh, this will
yeah,
never hit my family," or and then when it does, yeah, like you said, everybody starts panicking and then you want to learn and you want to educate yourself and you want to know where the resources are and what you can do to help or find a cure. And I think that that is what Bring a Voice is about so that you can help in those ways.
yeah. No, it's very, very true. Um, so I guess with how you went through all that and how you've learned to process it, can you take us back to when cancer first hit your family, and like what did that feel like? Who was around? Like, were you surrounded by friends and family, or was everyone kind of like didn't know what was going on or supportive?
I think cancer hit my family. I believe I was in junior high. My grandfather actually had lung cancer, and that
Oh,
was like the first loss in my family. And it was really impactful because my grandpa was like this strong man, and like you would never think that like anything would happen to him. Like I thought my grandpa would like outlive my grandmother because she was so small and little, and I'm like, she's definitely gonna die before him. And no, it got my grandpa, and it was so crazy just to watch somebody so big and strong get so sick and just basically shrivel away. It was really devastating. And just to see my dad, who was an only child, have to take care of his own father, it was really, really sad, sad, sad.
That those grandparent days, they didn't mess around back then.
The old school
Yeah.
days. And like my grandparents were married for like their whole life. My grandpa like remembered when my grandma was born down the street, and like they
Oh
were
my
just
God.
like everything back then was so like you just knew everybody, and the families were very close knitted and stuff. So for
There was
someone like my
community back then.
dad, yeah, someone like my dad, to see his dad getting sick and everything is just, I don't know, it was very devastating. Another example is my mom's mother. She got cancer. She got breast cancer, and my mom's one of nine. And my
Children or cancer?
grandma, yeah. So my grandma got breast cancer, and she was like the knit of our family. She kept everyone together. We had every holiday at her house. Every just everything was celebrated at my grandma's house. And when she got sick, our whole family just broke apart, and it was
Yeah.
devastating.
And you're all on West Coast, right? Back then?
Yes. So my mom's whole family were all from like California, up north, Northern California.
All right, very nice. And your father? All from
My dad
Oklahoma?
passed away, but he was also from Northern California, yeah.
But did he grow up in Oklahoma? Or he?
No, his family did.
Oh, okay. They,
Yeah.
they got out of there, huh? Did you guys have a support system with each other for
I
that?
mean,
Like
everybody was just kind of juggling duties, I think. When someone's sick, everyone's just trying to kind of like do what it is that they can and be present and help. And I mean, there's only so much that you can really do when somebody is sick. I mean, it's not really in your hands at that point. You could be present and help, but it's really in God's hands, I feel like, when it's health wise.
Yeah, but it's also good to know that you have people to lean on. Also, just going to the doctors, I've learned that you
Right,
better go with two people because the first two people aren't paying attention. One of them is usually the patient because
right.
they tell you like the most important information of your lifetime while you're getting the worst information of your lifetime and just expect you to remember it and walk out.
Yeah,
And
you kind of go deaf. You don't hear like what they're actually saying
yeah,
sometimes when it's like
tunnel vision,
traumatic
you get
and
that shock value. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So it's I always say go with as many people as you can, and always get two, three, four opinions these days.
Right.
Especially nowadays, it's just wild. You have to. It's part of this thing that we call life, and we have to all go through it. Some are luckier than others. Some don't go through it at all, which is shocking, and that's a blessing. And so, with everything that your family went through together, you mentioned your mom went through breast cancer. Was that's recently? It sounds like more in the last few years. Were you more prepared? Was it a closer bond between you and your mom? What was the mindset of like going through that now that you're building a company, you have kids, you know, that becomes a major part of your life, and your mom's a major part of your life. So,
I would say my mom getting diagnosed with breast cancer was actually pretty shocking. So, just a little rundown of my life. My dad raised me. I moved out here when I was probably like 17. I'm like 100 now, but
oh, you're not.
I
Then
moved out here when I to Southern California. I found my mom on the internet. Built a
wait,
relationship with my mom.
you didn't know her the first time?
I knew her when I was younger, but my dad raised me for the majority of my life, and then I found my mom when I became an adult, like or 16, 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
So when I moved out here, I was rebuilding a relationship with my mom. And so we had kind of like a high and low type of relationship. And when I got pregnant with my second child, Thriver, is when I found out that my mom had cancer. And so both of my pregnancies, I was very sick, like so sick that I couldn't even, I literally was just like in bed for 9 months with both kids. And
Wow.
so when I heard my mom had cancer, it actually just gave me anxiety, and I couldn't be there for her because I couldn't even take care of myself. And I mean, when I think about it now, I feel just really bad. I feel bad that like I was not there, but I was like having a baby. I was sick. And so she really did a lot of it on her own. And now I have a really close relationship with my mom, and we go to church every Sunday together. And so it's just something that I always have in the back of my head. I think about it, like, like she did this on her own, and I would hate myself if it ever came back. Or so it's just like one of those things where I wish I was more present, for sure, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Well, I mean, actually understand that from a different point of view too in my own life. But I think the thing that you have to learn is look at where you are now. And, people always tell me to shut up, so you can tell me to shut up. But, I feel like I've lived this life for all the pain now has a purpose. And I think that when you go through these life lessons, because that's what they are, it's these imperfections that make us who we are today. But it probably also now has a stronger bond between you and your mother because you can't blame yourself, but you still have that like that self doubt, self guilt, and you shouldn't solely for the fact that you both were going through something at the same time. You can't be there for everyone. She couldn't be there for you too, so it's a both symbiotic type of guilt, and you're closer now because of that situation. So it's like the plan was to get you guys closer. So now just it's if you always keep wondering what ifs, you never move to what will be, is how I look at things. So I don't know if that helps or I should shut up. But yeah.
No, no, it's so true. That's what I was saying, like in the beginning. It's perspective on time. It's perspective on life is fleeting, and I don't think that, like, unless you have those difficult moments in life that you've been through. I mean, like, if you haven't had loss, if you haven't been through, the highs and lows of life, you don't have a perspective on life or time. You really just don't, and you just think, oh, these people are always going to be here, or this is always going to be the way it is, and it's not like that. I mean, in a split moment, something can happen and it'll change your life forever. And it's just really valuing those times that you have with people, like right in front of you. Like today, what are you going to do today? Call your mom, call your dad, call your sibling, call a friend, like check on them, like make sure that they're okay. And tell them you're thinking about them, even if it sounds weird, just say it,
Because we all have this weird thing of like it's that emotionalness, especially I don't know how it is. I know for guys, or at least how I was raised, emotion wasn't part of my life. My life was, you don't show your emotions or your fear to any man or in a house because, there were, and it wasn't like biases. Everyone had equal rights. Everyone was on the same playing field, but it was just that old protector of a man. And I still think that's a valuable role. So, if you don't, some people don't have time to be emotional because life doesn't give them the moments to break down because if they break down, they might not come back for a while. And then it's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So I get it. But, now you're going to church, you see each other all the time, and you have that special bond. I bet you it's better now than it was before, even after. Right? If I had to
Oh,
get.
yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, just having the relationship, my kids have a grandma, they have such a good relationship with her, and it's better now than ever. And I just feel like we had to go through those different things in life to be able to like see that light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm just grateful for the moments like today,
Yeah.
which are awesome, and it's yeah, we did. We had to go through all of those other things to be where we're at. That's why I tell everybody every Sunday, I'm like, you have no idea what it took to get here, but we're here and it's so awesome. All glory to God. And all we can do is like keep creating good moments, and
Yeah.
you never know.
It's the blessings.
Absolutely.
You just gotta be able to see them.
Absolutely.
And I'm learning to accept some of them. So yeah.
Exactly. And
So
receive them.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, that's nice. I think it's very special. And now you have, I'm sure grandma plays a huge role now in holidays, which are coming up for you guys.
I mean, she babysat last night for me so I could go
There's
work.
the miracle, built-in babysitter you got again. That's the real story there. Now we got that. I'm putting on a billboard.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very, very sweet. It's very, that's what life is about. Life is short. Make the longest memory. That's so. No, thank you for sharing that. Did you have a darker phase like after dealing with anyone's cancer, or are you just like run and gun. Like you take it in, you don't have time to let it like stop you, or how you handle it with for your family or your friends.
I think with myself personally, I'm like a fight and flight person, or flight and fright, or flight and fright. Um, no, I typically use pain as power. I just push through. What is it that I need to do? It happens, and I'm just like on to like, how am I gonna use this to, leverage and elevate my life? I'm gonna use my story to help other people, or just be better and realize, be more aware. Again, I mean, we're not in control. We're fully not in control of someone else's health and what we can do. All we can really do is be present and show up. It's not our timing, it's God's timing. And I look at that as everything, because you
We
could
all
sit,
have an unknown date, I call it.
yeah.
That's what I've lived. I mean, I've been told I only had 6 months to live. I've been brought back to life. Days that were extended at this point in my life. So I get it.
Exactly.
It's crazy. But I do want to talk more about why you got into what you're doing now. Maybe we'll go back and forth to kind of break it up a little so it's not so heavy for everyone. But so you took this passion that you found of knowing that you like to help people and found a purpose with that, and you put it into your billboard company. We connected because of social media, which is the good side of social media because you found our page and our Giraffes book, which is the children's book. You helped us with the giraffe book coming to life in Times Square, and that's a cool thing that like you wish your family could have seen because it's just so cool. I mean, it's you don't think that could happen, and then it happens, and it's one
Yeah.
of the things that like it's a cool story, and it's a cool happening. So you found us, and is that like a major part of how you move in your space now?
Yeah, so again, rewind. Everything like comes from something in my life. One of the first billboards that we did, we had a foundation attached to the board. It was called Orangewood Children's Home. And as a 16-year-old girl, I was taken away from my mom when I first moved in with her because of substance abuses and things like that that were happening internally in the home. And I went to Orangewood Children's Home. So when I started doing billboards, one of the first foundations that we worked with was Orangewood Children's Home, and we attached it to one of the big events that we were doing, and we had it placed on the board. So ever since we started doing billboards, one of the major things that was really important to me was always including a foundation and being able to bring foundations into the light. And as I grow, I want to continue bringing awareness to foundations. So that was something that we kind of implemented into our business structure, that anytime we do a truck launch or anytime we do like an event, make sure a foundation is attached, because we want to be able to bring awareness. We want to drive traffic. However we can help internally, that's what we want to do at Billboards Inc. So that was how we met you. And a bunch of other brands that we've worked with, or foundations. We did breast cancer awareness billboard on PCH here in Orange County a couple years ago, for breast cancer awareness. We also did a billboard in Times Square for a little girl named Sophia, which was part of the Kid Cancer movement, which is an amazing foundation as well. They empower pediatric cancers for families and holistic support. They also do athlete scholarships for little kids with cancer.
Oh,
Another company that I just recently bought clothes from, it's called Rain and Conquer. All of their clothes are, it's not about the clothing, it's about bringing community and being able to help ease financial burden to families with cancer and stuff like that. So just being part of these different foundations, it's just really important to me. And how, like I said, however I can help, I just want to be able to do that. And I have the platform, so why would I not, you know?
that's why we love your energy, and
Yeah.
and the heart behind it. I when I launched this, I had started a clothing brand to get it going, and the whole point behind it. And I get that, so I definitely want to support those guys and the kids that are doing what they're doing. So definitely let us help. The philanthropic part of business is is always how I see like the most important part about business, because not everyone is willing to help out of heart. So I love that about your guys' company, and for not only helping us, but for inspiring other people that to
And of
learn
course,
about.
yeah, we did your board in Times Square too, which it did get a little messed up, but that's why we're still
I
working
wasn't
through.
gonna say it.
I know. No, it's all good. I'm very transparent, but no, it's just really fun and cool to be able to see like your work on this huge billboard, and the fact that you guys made a children's book to comfort the kids at the hospitals and stuff. I mean, they that's what they need. They need stuff like that.
You
I
really
really
do.
admire that.
Thank you. Um, and you don't have to mention their names. Don't mention their names. But you have a really close friend that's going through cancer right now, and that seems to touch you very personally. If you want to like talk about like why it's touching you so personally, not just from like a friendship level, or maybe how you're seeing it again, bringing back memories or something. But how are you? I have no doubt you're there and supporting him or her completely. But how are you also from that?
So here's the thing with that situation. I've actually been learning lately that sometimes people can have cancer and you won't even know that they have it. And they could be going through, chemo pills, or they could be just internally going through it on their own and not even stating it to you. And so that's kind of like what this situation is. And again, you can only really do so much. I mean, I could really stress myself out and be like, oh my God, you need to go get alkaline water, or you need to go do this, or trying to like find things on Amazon or finding remedies. And but again, if the person doesn't want to take the right steps and create a healthy lifestyle, you can only do so much for them. And that's kind of like what the situation is. The person is living a regular life, but not basically doing the things that they probably should in a healthy way. And I mean, I can't say I'm the healthiest person in the entire world, but when I hear somebody may have cancer or Hodgkin's lymphoma, to me, I get scared. I'm like frightened by the thought of it, and I will obsess and start Googling things and trying to find ways that like it can help it. And sometimes I find myself actually caring a lot more than like people care about themselves. And for me, I try not to do that because I'll make myself literally go crazy. Because I've been affected by cancer. I know what cancer does. I know what it can potentially do if you don't take care of yourself. And so it makes me kind of go down a rabbit hole of trying to be a doctor when I'm really not. I'm not a doctor, but I want to help and I want to find solutions and find a cure and do all these things, which I'm not really certified to do so. So,
No, but love and energy is always the best medicine sometimes. So just being
yeah.
present is always good. And
Yeah, and just showing that I care. I mean, that's all I can really do. But some people just don't live healthy lifestyles and their bodies are affected by it. You can compare like the different types of cancers. And then when I see little kids with cancer, I'm like, they haven't even lived long enough to put bad stuff in their body. And then you see these adults that may have it, but they're still doing bad things. And it's just like, what are we doing? There's these little kids that literally haven't even had a chance to live, and they're getting affected by it. And
yeah,
it's just so sad. It's so sad.
it is. But I don't, I mean, that's when we used to do kid stays in hospitals. It's probably the most significant part behind what I've done in this, because those kids are amazing. They have smiles on their faces. They are just bright sunshine. They are having the worst moments, and they just know how to just live in that moment and just try to have fun and be happy. And I think that's the innocent of not knowing, but also like it's really special to be around that. I mean, it's really hard to describe.
No, I saw this podcast recently. A dad was interviewing his son, and the little boy had cancer, and he's just like, why do you think, God gave you cancer? And the little boy was just like, I was chosen. Like, he wanted me to have it. And I'm so happy that I have it because I don't want my brother and sister to have it. And he knew that I could do it. And it was like, I couldn't take it. It was so sad, but it was so genuine, and he was just so loving, and his dad just like broke down crying, and the little boy was just like, he's like, I can handle it, and the dad's like, I want to be the one that has it, not you, and I think that's what gets me the most. I know, like, as adults, when you get cancer, like, I mean, it's so sad too, but I just feel like we've lived our life. Like, if I got something and died tomorrow, like, at least I lived, right? And these little kids, it's like they don't even get like the chance. Like, some of them come out and they just have cancer. And it's like, why? Why does that happen,
Well, that's the mother in you.
Yeah, it's really devastating. I honestly, I can't take stuff like that at all. I'm like the worst.
Well, then let's not dive any deeper in that because
I know, let's not.
let's keep you
Let's not.
happy, tear free.
Yeah.
So, with everything that you're doing and going through and building and managing two kids and a career, and thankfully blessing us with your presence today, with everything you've gone through, everything that you do, everything that you put your soul into, and taking care of your family and running a business and running a million different directions, I'm sure, what you want at the end of the day, like the legacy of Jenna Lee to be.
I believe I just want to leave a legacy to my kids. I just want my kids to be good humans. I want them to be loving, kind, giving, compassionate to others. I really try, again, like this podcast, to incorporate things like this into my life and into our lives to just give back. And I want my kids to be able to do that as well. That's why, we give during the holidays. And I really want them to live it instead of just talk about it and we take pictures and show people that we're doing it, and just to really have it embedded into their DNA. So they can be good, compassionate people, because it really is about just living your everyday life and it just being who you are. So just having them be the same way. So
That's nice. That's good. You just got to keep that positive going. So, for our final question, maybe. Now, for our final question, after everything you've been through with from your father to your grandparents and your mom and even with your hard time with your pregnancy, if someone was sitting right across from you right now and they're about to go through this journey of either having cancer or on the side that you're on or supporting someone with cancer, what would you say to them?
I would, I don't know if I would say very much. I think I would just want to be present in the moment and just give them more of a feeling instead of like, oh, everything's going to be okay. Or just, I think saying a lot doesn't really like help the situation. I think it's showing them with your actions that you are present, and like you said, going to doctor's appointments and being present with them in a real way that you can support them, because it turns into a lifestyle. It's not something that's like, oh, you have cancer one day and the next week you're not going to have it. It turns into like an everyday thing and an everyday fight. And every week you're going through appointments and just being there for them as they go into this new journey of life. And being able to do that, it's a lot, but it shows the person that you actually care.
No, I love that. It's love is louder. Jenna Lee, I personally am touched and grateful to have you part of this. I think it's going to be very, very inspirational for a lot of people who are going through this situation or maybe find themselves in the same situation that you once were in and know that they just have to keep going, keep trucking. And maybe even like that single mom who's hustling every day and struggling or just working her ass off and has kids and just knows that you just got to keep pushing forward. So I thank you for sharing that. And we thank you for also being part of not only the podcast, but the Dwafts family, because that was very special. So thank you for everything that you do, because what you do helps make the small guys get seen. And sometimes that's very important. So thank you. Thank you. You're a blessing to so many people. All right. So the fun stuff. Favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yours, not mine.
I mean, I like a good taco.
You're in the right neighborhood, kind of, aren't you?
Like Mexican food is like my go-to. I love sushi though too.
Two of the best things that you have on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I don't really know a lot of movies, to be honest. I watch a lot of kid movies because I have little kids. I really love Moana. I watched that so many times with my kids.
That's fine. That
Love
could be it.
Moana. Every time the grandma dies, I'm like so sad and it's just like,
What's your greatest strength and weakness?
My greatest strength and weakness is I put everybody before myself. I'm like overly compassionate. In business, it's a curse because I just care too much about what people think, and then but it's also a blessing because I have real connections with people, and I've had some of the longest friendships in my life. Like, I mean, I'm going to my friend's wedding this weekend. I've known her since I was 16. So just like I have real connections with people, but it sucks for business. Nightmare.
You know, I actually like that so much. We're gonna end on that one.